It's Game Soup. We're playing Necropolis. My name's Ed.
My name's Joe.
This is a roguelike dungeon crawler sort of combination game.
It's developed by Harebrained Schemes, based in Kirkland, Washington.
Yeah, you know what else they made? Have you played any of the Shadowrun games?
No.
I've played them. They're quite fun. They're turn-based tactics style shooters,
Okay.
like futuristic cyber dystopia. But they're really fun games. So I had really high hopes when this game came out too. But tell us more.
Well, it's an addictive blend of third-person action and procedural dungeon delving.
It sure is. Oh, by the way, we should mention that we got a review copy for this game.
Oh yeah, we received a review copy from the developer Harebrained Schemes.
And the game came out not too long ago, actually. I think it just, last week? So it's still fairly... Oh, July 12th, that says. July 12th. So fairly recent.
Yes.
And as you can tell, it's got elements of roguelikes, of dungeon crawlers, and certainly Dark Souls probably has a lot to do with the inspiration behind the game.
It's on Steam. Don't forget that it's on Steam.
It's on Steam. Yeah, there is a link to the Steam page in the description below. We wanted to make sure to include that because they asked us to, and that's kind of a nice thing to do.
It's only $29.99.
Yeah, it's less than the price of a full game at least.
Of a modern console release, you would say, I guess. It is a full game.
It is a full game,
But
yeah.
it's cheaper than a $60 console release.
It is. It's one of those games that you die a lot, and then you start over, and then you die, and then you start over, and you learn a little bit more each time you play. You know? So, just getting to the end is going to be an achievement. So that's the way I felt about it. I'm only on this is the second floor. I think there are 8 floors and a final boss floor, something like that. But this is the second floor of the game. I wanted to sort of drop into a game that was already in progress, just to sort of give you an idea of what it looks like, beyond the very first level.
So this game is up to 4 players.
Right.
Co-op online.
Yeah, I made the mistake of thinking that it was local co-op. It's not local co-op, it is online-only co-op, but it is apparently very smooth, and you can just drop in and drop out whenever you want.
So we did get 2 review copies, one for each of us, so we're probably also going to do a drop-in co-op game in this video. Are we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, later on, once this mission, once this playthrough just fails horribly, which it inevitably is going to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, good. So what else? We mentioned the price. We mentioned the company.
There's going to be a PS4 and an Xbox One version in the summer.
That's right. I think those are supposed to come
Published by Bandai and Bandai Namco Entertainment.
Really?
I didn't know that Bandai and Namco were merged.
Oh yeah,
Too many mergers.
They're the publishers of Dark Souls.
Okay, well, that definitely makes some amount of sense.
They're into that. So this is pretty punishing too, but in a slightly different way. And we'll get into all the details very soon.
So you got a shield and an axe. Is that your starting weapons?
No, so this is the second floor, and I've managed to find this equipment. I'll show you what it looks like here in the menu. So we've got this Harebrained axe, which we just picked up. In our second slot, we have Bofa's cutter, and we have 2 different shields. You can see they each have tiers. So this one's tier 1, this one's tier 1. Everything starts off at tier 0, so on the very first floor, you start off with tier 0 equipment. Joe, why don't you go ahead and ask me what the difference is between tier 0 and tier 1?
What's the difference between 0 to... Yeah, that.
The answer is, I don't know.
Oh.
Because the game doesn't tell you. So if I want to know how much damage I'm doing with this weapon, I don't get to know.
Oh.
If I want to know how much damage I'm doing with this weapon, I know they're both tier 1, but which does, how much damage?
The axe does more.
The axe probably does more because it swings, actually it swings pretty fast, but you can sort of see they have...
Yeah, which one's more DPS?
Yeah.
DPS is really the key that you want to know.
Yeah.
Because attack speed times damage, base damage, I guess that's the most basic way to figure out DPS. There's usually crit and crit chance, and there's all kinds of other calculations that generally go into DPS calculations in the game, but...
So I don't know how much...
We don't know.
No.
So we don't know the answer. Just pick the one that you think looks cooler.
Yeah.
Or is more fun to wield. I
think, from what I've seen so far, the only way to judge things is based on what you like. So if you like axes, you pick them, and then...
I'm a fan of axes.
You just look at the tiers, So, and then the same goes for... There are some healing items, the standard ration, the iron ration. There's also rotten rations, which you can eat, and they might make you sick. So it's a pretty simple equipment system. There's only those, those 5 slots, but also the codex system. This is the first codex that I got. In fact, it's the only one I have at the moment. That is sort of, how in Rogue Legacy, when you die, you make a little bit of progress overall because you can upgrade the castle, Or, you know, a lot of roguelikes do that, where every time you die, you get a very slight upgrade to your overall power. That's what the codex system in here is really meant for. So, and as far as I know, that's the only form of long-term progression, is collecting codexes. And they have a cost associated with them, which is, if you look in the top right-hand corner there, you can see that I'm on level 2, and I have 977 gems, as well as 2 tokens of favor, they're called.
Oh no, you're almost dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna die, I think. And you buy tokens of favor with you buy codexes.
This is a lot of enemies.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
This is a little more like Bloodborne, I think, than Dark Souls. Bloodborne upped the enemy count a little more than the Dark Souls games.
So I really want to heal, but I'm afraid because it takes a really long time. Also, there's friendly fire, which you might have just seen there.
Yeah,
which is cool because you can make them kill each other if you're clever. If you're a clever girl, which I am not.
Well, you're not a girl, but I think you're pretty clever. Is that
Jesus,
death? That's permadeath?
That's death. I went into this thinking I wasn't going to die so quickly. Alright. So you can see all that I've done here. And the main purpose when you die is... Well, not the purpose, but when you die you get tokens of favor there at the bottom, you can see. You buy codexes with those. And that's basically the way that you progress. You can equip one at a time. You can't have more than one equipped at a time, but they each have a unique benefit. Some of them will be, for example, the stamina you lose when you block something with a shield is reduced, or your jump height is increased. So, you know, a lot of just basic mechanical changes or upgrades. So, all right, I did okay in that run, I guess. Okay. Do you want to give it a shot, Joe? Because that went a lot shorter than I thought it was going to.
No, you give it a shot.
All right, we'll start over here. So this is the first thing you see when you start the game. As far as I know, this is the only class. I think there are supposed to be other classes coming or rumored to be coming. I'm not really sure on that.
You can be a daughter.
You can be a son or a daughter. Yeah. As far as I know, they're identical. Will be this one, this cool purple pink one. The game has a good sense of humor too. Lots of jokes. You'd expect a lot of, you know, sort of lore-heavy items and descriptions and all sorts of flavor text, and all of it is touched with a slight sense of humor in it.
Can we fall down this hole?
We can, and that will take us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to take us into the dungeon?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how you get there. You can see you can either take the stairs here, or, you know, if you're adventurous, you can just jump down the hole, which we'll do, and you'll see that it doesn't really take a lot of damage. It takes a tiny little bit of damage.
I would assume, based on the fact that this game seems very punishing, that you can drop off cliffs and drop in holes. And
yeah.
They're not going to put invisible guardrails around stuff like that.
So the game kind of just drops you off here. If you're still lost, I think that's intentional. This is pretty much what you get when you start this game. You get the control scheme, which, by the way, at the moment is not... You can't rebind keys. You can view the controls, but you can't rebind them in any way.
Oh.
And I wouldn't recommend playing it with a keyboard and mouse. I don't even know if that's... I'm sure it's possible, but I don't know if I would do it. And one thing I really, really need here is you have the option to invert the y-axis, but not the x-axis.
Oh.
So when you're moving the camera around like this, you know, here up is up, and down is down, left is left, and right is right. But I want left and right to be reversed. You know, I think some people would prefer that.
Yeah.
Just based on the way that your perception is when you play games. So that was one feature that I was really, really hoping for.
For me, it would be okay. I only invert y-axis.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm the odd one there.
There's definitely, everybody has their preference for inversion of y and x-axis, so that would be good if it was included. But I can adapt when if there's a game where the x-axis for some reason is reversed, then I can usually adapt to that. I have played games like that. You kind of have to think of it as, are you turning your character or are you moving the camera?
Right.
So the way if you invert the x-axis, it's like you're moving the camera around the character, and if you play with the x-axis on the default, that means that it's like you're moving with the character. So
if this is your first time playing the game and you come upon this thing and it says Y interact, so we'll hit Y. So Joe, what do you think this does?
It's a, I don't know, a check. It can't be a checkpoint.
No, game doesn't tell you.
Oh, do you know what it does?
Nope.
Oh,
nope. I don't know. And that's the running theme.
You just get dropped in.
Well, yeah, there you do. Yeah, I could have taken the elevator down, but I didn't.
Because you didn't take that much fall damage.
No, you really barely take any at all, which is good.
Nice.
Because it kind of encourages you to, be kind of not reckless in combat, but it encourages you to move around the environment a lot.
I do really like the look of the game. I like that everything's clear. A lot of times in 3D games especially, they have a lot of varying values, and a lot of the textures can get kind of muddy.
Yeah, I think
with this there's very little texturing actually.
That's really what stands out. That's what stood out to me when I first saw it. I knew that I wanted to play it eventually because it has such a cool look to it, you know.
It really does allow you to see what's going on clearly.
Oh god. So there are a couple of small gripes that I have with this combat system, and probably the most important thing is, oh my god, I'm gonna die again. Probably the most important thing is that enemies respawn, or at least they appear to respawn. I'm not sure how the actual system works because, you know, the game's it's pretty obscure, or pretty obtuse maybe. It seems that enemies will just infinitely respawn. So, for example, if I'm in this room, there might be enemies that respawn on the other side, or over here in this corner, or directly next to me. And sometimes you can even catch them respawning. And I don't love that. I don't love running around this dungeon and just having something pop up behind you. You know, for example, if you just got out of a lot of combat and you're low on health and you need to craft something, and all of a sudden three more guys just appear out of nowhere.
It's like playing Doom on Nightmare mode.
Oh, yeah, just like that. Pretty punishing.
Hey, maybe if they couldn't respawn if you're within a certain distance of them or something. So, I don't know. That might be a way to balance it. Don't know enough about the game to know if that would be reasonable or not.
And honestly, I don't either. There may be rules to it that I'm just not picking up on. I might die again. There may be rules to it, but that's just what it appears to. Oh crap! That's what it appears to be.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's pretty hard, and that's kind of the the flavor of the gameplay is just challenge. So we'll go ahead and pick another character here, and of course it's randomly generated. So every time you go in, it's going to be a little bit different.
So there's some kind of crafting system apparently.
Oh yeah. I did not get to show you that, but I will. So here's one thing. You have your equipment menu here, as well as your inventory, and if you hit right bumper or left bumper, you can go to the crafting menu. It's pretty simple, and this is pretty much what I can make so far. You can see I have nothing because I just started. I don't have any materials to make these things, but you can make rotten food if you really want to do that. You could do it. You can make the standard ration, the iron ration, adventurous chalk. So, funny thing, this game does not have a map. Intentionally does not have a map, and these levels are pretty big. And as you can tell from the colors, you know, like the color scheme and just the general aesthetic of it, it starts to blend together.
Yeah, I could definitely imagine that.
Yeah. So, and while there are certain landmarks that you can sort of watch out for, there's no way, unless you draw the map yourself, that you can really just have an overhead view of it. So that's where the adventurous chalk comes in, which is one of these items here. Here it is, adventurous chalk. So what you do is, if you craft this, you basically just set down just a marker, and that lets you know where you've been. So you can tell at a glance, oh yeah, I've already been here because my chalk is here. But there's no map. So it's different. I wasn't expecting that, and I kind of just wish there was a map, because the levels, I don't know, they're fairly big.
And you have to use your resources. Are those resources good for anything else in the game?
Oh, let's see. These are
arcane dust and crystal.
Oh yeah. For example, if I wanted to make this potion, I would have to choose between the chalk and the potion.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I guess
you just have to have either a really good sense of direction,
or draw the maps.
Or draw the maps yourself, I guess, on paper, which that seems really archaic. I haven't done that since I was a small child playing Wizardry for the NES.
Yeah, like if I was gung-ho, like neck deep in this game, I would probably just draw the maps and be crazy about it and have it all over my walls.
Or you can use the chalk.
You can use the chalk.
Probably what's intended. So
these are the codexes, or the codices. So again, this is your I think the single form of long-term progression in the game. So let's see. Let's do. Here we go, The Burly Ogre's Guide to Smashing Stuff. This one costs 7. Joe, what do you think it does?
Maybe it gives you more smashing power.
Maybe it increases your attack power, or the knockback, or...
Let's see.
Oh, we can't buy it.
Oh, we can't buy it.
But my point was, they don't tell you what they do. The only form of long-term progression does not tell you how it functions.
Well, I'm sure there's a wiki for it.
There is. It's already up. In fact, if you check the Steam page, there's a guide that'll tell you what they all do explicitly. But some of them are ridiculously obscure. Like this one, unlock your inner power potential. It's got it's got some flavor text, but it doesn't tell you anything about what it does, and it costs 14 tokens of favor, which is one of the most expensive ones.
I think there's some players who really enjoy figuring it all out themselves, figuring out all the unique aspects of a game and the the lore and what all the items do themselves just through experimentation.
Yeah.
So that's probably a benefit for someone like them. But for someone like you or I just like to know what's going on so that I can get to the gameplay and get to mastering the combat and mastering all the mechanics of the game, not just the combat, but
I assume it's just a personal preference.
I like to know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. In fact, when we played Binding of Isaac on this channel, like 2 years ago, that was one of my biggest gripes, is that it's a wiki game. I think you've called it that before. It's one of those games where to really get the most out of it and make the most informed choices, you need to have a wiki page open that explains everything you're doing, all the items and power-ups and such.
Now, with this, I don't think it's too bad, because the runs are generally going to be, it looks like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, I'm guessing, if you do pretty well.
I would imagine, yeah, probably closer to an hour than 30 minutes.
So that's not an insignificant amount of time. I mean, compared to Spelunky, maybe a good full run of Spelunky, getting the secret ending is going to take you maybe 30 or 40 minutes if it's your first time through the game. And just a normal clear, maybe 20 to 30 minutes of Spelunking. Anyway, so that's kind of a general procedurally generated game that's referred to, that almost everybody's played, that you can compare other games like it to. And another one that I've played a little bit recently is Don't Starve.
Oh yeah, how's that?
That's probably the most extreme example of a procedurally generated game with permanent death that I've ever seen, in that it's the game is long. It's hours and hours and hours. It's like an RPG length with permanent death. I'm not even joking.
I don't know if I love that or not.
It could take you dozens of hours to clear the game, and if you die, you have to start over.
Oh my god. So you haven't beaten it yet?
No, I don't think I ever will, to be honest. I've beaten the beginning. There's a sandbox mode, which that you don't have to do over again. It's kind of like an intro level, which I thought was the entire game.
Okay.
You're fucked.
I don't know where that guy came from behind me. I don't know if he just spawned in or if he was already there.
Jesus. Yeah, there are a lot of enemies in this game.
Yeah. But as it turns out, I found a couple of good strategies for, I guess it's actually just cheesing the enemies.
It seems like just making them hit each other seems to be a great strategy.
Yeah, that crowd control thing is awesome. And also, what I like to do is hold up my shield, and then when they go in for attack, you just bait out their first attack, and then you retaliate. You bait out their first attack, and you retaliate. And you can pretty much do that.
Yeah.
At least I've been doing that for the first couple of floors. I'm sure it gets harder, later on as you encounter more different enemies. But at least in the beginning. So I should heal here. Oh yeah, and I wanted to point out there at the bottom, you can see we have 3 different objectives or quests for this part of the run at least. If you do them, they reward you with more tokens of favor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can collect gems or you can do those objectives, and you basically get those tokens of favor. So I would say if you were very used to Souls gameplay, or roguelike gameplay, or both, you could probably get most of the codexes and see a lot of the the later power-ups that the game has to offer. But if this is maybe your first game in this kind of genre or gameplay style, it's probably going to take you a really long time, because it's absolutely punishing.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be as good at this as you are.
And I'm not good at it right now, and I've played it a fair amount. What is this? Screamer Blade. Wah! Alright, so I like the faster weapons, typically. So I'm going to go with this one. I think this one's faster.
It seems like fast would be pretty good in this game, considering the number of enemies there are, because you want to be able to block quickly.
Yeah. And have you noticed those little spiders that run around, those pyramid spiders?
Yeah.
Those, if you have a slow weapon, you pretty much can't attack them before they run away. So I like to carry a faster weapon. They sometimes drop like crafting materials for you, So I think faster usually wins in this case. At least, that's my preference. Alright, okay, so we have an unknown potion.
Yeah, maybe the slower weapons are better for bosses or something, I don't know.
Maybe. Alright, so we have an unknown potion.
Enemies.
What do you think it does? I don't know. I guess we'll have to try it and find out. Also, we have That Sure Is a Magic Scroll. That's the name of it. What do you think it does? I have no idea.
I'm sure we'll find out.
I'm sure we'll find out. I wonder if we can get close to some enemies and just try it out. Because Oh. Alright then.
There you go.
Okay.
And your wish was granted.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it. In fact, why don't we just take the potion instead? Because I think that'll be fast.
These guys have been here a while.
Yeah.
You can tell from those beards.
Yeah, I know. They all have the similar beards, really. Similar length beards. They're all the same. Okay. Not looking good.
You got to get them to hit each other.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, did you see that? That was a trap. There are traps in the game.
Oh, okay. Those aren't coming after you. Those aren't like living statues.
No,
They're not like a dark nut.
Crap. No, they're not like a dark nut or anything. They, if you just get too close to them, they'll do that.
You got one of those pyramid spiders back there.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he's gone now. They disappear, by the way, if you don't get them quickly enough.
Oh, really?
That's going to happen a lot. You're going to just watch them and not be able to catch up to them, and they're just going to disappear.
Kind of a shame.
Yeah. But they also respawn infinitely, or so it seems. So you're never not going to see them. You're going to see them pretty much constantly. Pariah Blade. All right, so I need to heal a little bit more. Oh, look, there's one right there. Did you see it? I think it just spawned in.
Get him. Get that bastard.
So I don't know if it'll drop anything. Oh, it dropped 2 gems maybe, or a couple of gems.
Nice.
That's one other thing.
Scrawling on the wall?
Yeah. So this is some flavor text, a little bit of lore here.
Oh, okay. So it tells you what it says.
And occasionally these will open up secret passages.
I can't read right now. I'm in like a dreamlike state.
Can't read?
You can't read in your dreams, apparently.
That's weird.
I think I have read in my dreams, but maybe it was just my imagination.
Oh, mystical endurance. Okay. And here's another chest. So we're doing pretty good on this last objective, 4 out of 6. Oh, look at that. Tier 1. Oh, that's what we had before. Totally taking that. Awesome. Oh my god, there's so many chests here.
I think as far as progression goes, as far as the between run progression goes, I kind of prefer the Spelunky method. How your progression is that you get a warp for getting into deeper areas of the dungeon, but a full run isn't considered. It's not considered a full run unless you start from the very beginning and go to the end. So that type of progression where you just like where you unlock warps, I think is better. Is not better, but it suits my tastes more, I guess. But also, I love Rogue Legacy, and that's more similar to this. Yeah. And that has you build your castle and you get permanent upgrades for your character every time you start a new run. So I think there's merits to both types. I don't know, what's your preference?
Well, I guess it depends on the game specifically.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Because yeah, for Rogue Legacy, I love that. I mean, you know, you kill one of the 4 bosses and then you don't have to do it again, but you still start at the beginning of the game. You just don't have to kill that, you know, go to that section of a castle and kill the boss. So I think it depends on the game overall. For a game like this, I don't think there is a teleport function. If there is, that would be cool. If not, I understand. I don't think it... I guess I'm not experienced with the game enough yet to really have a preference on it, you know?
Yeah.
But I can see it having merit in either case. We're not going to catch that guy. So let's see what we can do here.
Oh yeah, I was talking about Don't Starve. I don't want to leave a tangent hanging. I forget what I was even saying about it though.
How it's hours and hours and hours. And
yeah. Oh yeah, I was saying how I beat the first level, I guess, which I thought was the entire game. I thought that just beating a run of the game, it took me probably 4 hours. I don't know, maybe no more than that. It was probably 5 or 6 hours, and I had failed maybe 3 or 4 runs before that. And I finally figured out how to do all the crafting and all how to stay alive and not starve and not get killed by monsters. And I found the exit basically.
Hello.
But the exit of the game is actually just the beginning. You get into something called the adventure mode, where you have to beat 5 consecutive worlds, which are each. I'm not sure if they're each as big as the initial world, but Anne's been playing it, and she. From what I've seen from her maps, they're all about as big. So you have to basically beat the game 5 more times. And if you die in any of those worlds, you have to start from world 1.
Great. So it's one of those games.
I've never experienced the game with such...
Does it?
So much... that had permanent death that was so long.
Does it get
the runs were so
easier
long.
Every time you play it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you learn how it works. You learn the hard way. I mean, you lose hours and hours and hours of playing.
But there's no like long-term progression, you know, for like Rogue Legacy or like this.
No.
Okay.
There's
just you.
There are some elements, but if you die though, you do have to start the whole thing over again with nothing.
Oh.
But from world to world, you can carry some of your items with you. That's one of the few things that. So you have a slight advantage as you progress through the worlds. You can bring like rare items and powerful buffs with you, or what Anne did. What she did, I suggested that she'd bring a big stack of food to the next world, so she wouldn't have to worry about starving for the beginning of the game. She could just focus on exploring.
Oh, cool! We did something. I think we did. Which one did we do?
So there's a lot of strategy to it, but. Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna beat the game though. I don't think I'm gonna try because I think it's just too frustrating to lose after playing the game for like dozen. You could probably wind up playing for a dozen or dozens of hours, and lose all your progress.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that too much either, I think.
But there's a lot of endearing things and neat characteristics about the game, and I can see why it has mass. I can see why it has mass appeal, but I don't know. I just can't take that loss, I think. But it is also, it's similar to this in that it doesn't explain anything to the player. It just drops you in and you have to figure it out for yourself.
Right, yeah.
So
and that's something we've seen a lot in games recently. I don't know how I feel about it. Well, no, that's not true. I do know how I feel about it.
Yeah, we personally don't really like it.
Not really. I mean, it has its place, for sure.
But yeah, well, as I was saying before, there are some players who prefer to experiment with... Who prefer to explore and take their time in the world and figure everything out for themselves. So there's merits to it for sure.
But there's also situations, I'm going to use this game as an example, where you never find out those things, and you can't ever find out those things. For example, how much damage, how much health does this restore, how much damage does this weapon do?
Yeah,
you'll never know that.
I guess that's true, yeah.
It's one of those things that no matter how much you experiment, you'll just get a rough sense for it. You'll never actually know.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I think that kind of that kind of concept or mechanic should be implemented sparingly, I would say.
It might just be because we've played so many damn games.
You think?
I think that might be part of it. That we just want to know. We just want to know what the mechanics are. Like we've seen everything. We've basically seen everything that a game that you hold a controller and look at a screen can offer, and we're just seeing different things combined. You know, different genres and different slightly different control schemes, and different implementations, I guess. But all the elements are pretty much the same. So we want to know what's the DPS of this weapon. We want to know you and I prefer to know up front what's the DPS of this weapon, what's the advantages to it, and we want to know what the items we're picking up are doing. We like to have an explanation.
I mean, in a game like this where the entire game is out to get you, right? I mean, this entire game is designed to kill you, just like Binding of Isaac, just like Rogue Legacy. In a game like that, you need to have like everything all these small things that you could have information about, you're going to grasp onto them because you need them. Like, you're just going to get small tidbits of information, but you want them so badly because they're going to help you out. Yeah. They're going to let you make informed choices about what you want to equip or how you want to go about playing the game. So, even just those small things, if you have them, they can make a huge difference.
If it was explained, they could probably also make the difficulty a little bit higher.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see from the combat, I mean, you take damage. It's not a ton of damage. You don't die in 2 hits, which is nice.
Yeah, I did notice the health bar seems to be fairly generous, which is nice because of the number of enemies.
Yeah. Frequently, that's how I've died. I've just died because a swarm of enemies either spawned close to me or, we're just in a room together and I couldn't quite get out. But, it's pretty generous with the amount of tries that you get. If a try is, considered getting hit, maybe. And the enemies have fairly predictable patterns. Like I said, you can just lure their first attack out of most of them. Some of them will attack quickly after you do that, so you can't quite do that. But, by and large... Oh, yeah. Okay. But by and large, it's... You can just take that approach to it and mostly be okay. At least, like I said, for the first couple levels. Okay, so these guys came out of, I don't know where. Apparently nowhere. So we're just going to get out of here, because this is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Yeah, it's the frequency and the number with which
they're fighting that
spawn.
spider.
Oh yeah, there is infighting, which is cool.
So I guess these beard guys hate spiders.
I guess
it's that way.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't hate spiders? All right, so I wish. Okay, is there something behind me? Yes.
I had nightmares about giant thousand-leggers.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I don't like those. They're not my favorite.
Yeah, they're gross, but like imagine one that's like a foot or 2 feet long or something.
Oh.
That would be like a nightmare creature to me.
Oh god.
For the Sony PlayStation.
Where did these guys come from? For the Sony PlayStation.
Yeah.
Nightmare creatures.
That's what that game was about, Thousand-Leggers.
It was. I never played it.
No, I didn't either.
Oh.
I remember seeing it on the shelf all the time.
Okay, I'm just gonna get out of here because I don't like what's happening here.
There's a lot of these kind of mediocre B-list, C-list titles on the PlayStation. The PlayStation was kind of like the dumping ground of that generation, just because it was so easy to get a license and develop for it.
I know. Didn't it end up with like over it was ridiculous, man. Either 1,500 or 6,000 games.
It wasn't 6,000.
It wasn't 6,000?
I think it was over 1,000, but
And it was some ridiculous number.
at least in the States, there might have been more in Japan. Maybe if you count like worldwide releases, there were thousands, but
Maybe. And then the N64 only had, I think, 220 or 30, comparatively.
well, if you guys know, Wikipedia it and post it in the bottom in the comments.
Do it. Do it. Oh, these guys. These guys also came out of nowhere.
I know Super Nintendo had 700 and something US
Jeez.
releases. Super Nintendo was the biggest
Oh.
before PlayStation. But Nintendo kind of screwed themselves over with the N64, making it really difficult to make games for it because they made every cartridge cost $10 to the developer. So the games had to be really expensive.
Was that for licensing? Like, or
Yeah.
just the manufacturing
Yeah,
cost?
for
is
the
that high?
manufacturing
Uh-oh,
costs.
uh-oh,
From
uh-oh.
what I understand, maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but that's from what I've read and
on.
what I've heard. I think that Nintendo made it so that it was just a flat $10 per cartridge that a company wanted to produce. So it made it really cost prohibitive for small developers to
Yeah.
make games for the N64, which is why you saw such a small number of N64 titles, but you did see a much higher ratio of quality titles to
Right.
junk.
Because you didn't
Whereas
just want
the
to toss
PlayStation
anything.
was almost all junk. I mean,
Right.
really, if you look at the PlayStation library, like a list of the games, it's almost all garbage.
Yeah, I wonder what a Metacritic rating for each console would look like, you know, if you just organize them and display them on a chart.
Yeah, I would imagine N64
Oh,
would
crap.
probably come out pretty high.
All right, this is
Compared to other
ridiculous.
consoles.
This is ridiculous. Oh, good. Thanks. Thanks,
That
dude.
worked. I think that guy dropped some meat, but I don't know if I would.
Too.
I don't know if I would be running for it right now.
You don't want to eat this guy's rotten meat.
No.
Also, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right, let's
I
get
feeling you
this.
say that a lot in this game. Oh, I'm gonna die.
You do say that, yeah. Oh,
Oh, a chicken.
I didn't know this. So he sells potions. I didn't know this happened. Jemmy, you're in a jar. So we can afford pretty much anything. Arcane food. I think this is a step higher than iron rations. I think it restores a lot of health, so I'm gonna get that. Restores what is lost due to blade and bone. What does it do? I don't know.
Restores what is lost. It's maybe just health. I don't know.
I guess. It's potion of vigor. I wonder if it... Oh, it must restore stamina. I imagine. But who knows? Lapis primus. Restorative goop. Alright. Take that. Cool. So I think... I wonder if we're getting close to the end of this floor. The one thing about the progression here is that... What was that? Oh, ID scroll. And that sure is a magic scroll. And that sure is a magic scroll. How are we doing on inventory? So we have 2 more spots left. So you can equip a codex or buy a codex at the beginning and the end of each level. So you can see that we did this at the very beginning of this playthrough. We chose a codex, and once we get to the bottom of this floor, or not the bottom, but you know the end of this floor, once we find that area where we can take the elevator down to the next floor, we can also change our equipment and our codex of choice. And that's sort of where the not having a map thing comes into play. I found that almost every playthrough, you know, every time I've played the game so far, I've ended up at this point where I don't know exactly where to go, because, I mean, maybe it's just me, because I have a pretty poor sense of direction, normally. You know? So if you have a better sense of direction than me, that's good. This is bad. This is bad. But I would often find myself running around places I've already been in, looking for that one path that I maybe just hadn't found. Meanwhile, enemies are respawning behind me and in front of me and all over the place.
Yeah, that's an issue. Like even in a game with a map, I find it really annoying when you're trying to navigate and there's infinite enemies spawning around you. That happened to me a lot in Warframe.
Oh my god! Like this, yeah. And, you know, respawning enemies have their place in games, in certain games, in game mechanics. I don't know if this is one of them. I don't know if this is the place for them. Or you know, if they're going to stay, maybe tweak the way that they spawn, or the frequency at which they spawn. It's a lot. So you're really incentivized to... I mean, you can see, the only way you can die in this game is, you know, by either falling or mostly through combat. So, whatever you can, you want to avoid unnecessary combat, or else you'll die. So
yeah,
that just
but they
means,
respawn, so
right,
you gotta be...
Exactly. So you're either just going to run around and just evade them, or they're just tailing you the whole time, or you can just try to take it slow and steady, and you might die anyway, you know? That's just my experience. Alright. So you can see everything sort of looks the same after a while. Kind of becomes hard to tell where you've been, where you're going. I think we've already been here because this is lit up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's shit all over the floor too, right?
What do you mean?
Like
Oh yeah, the
enemy
weapons.
drops.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is the main room again. This is the main room, I think. Is this where we started? I think it's the room that we start in. So we explored both sides of this. I don't know if we missed something in one of them. But let's see. Will this take us up? Yeah, we don't want to go up. But now that we're here, we can also talk to this dude, who's going to sell us just, you know, the standard. Let's get one of these. Oh, inventory is full. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and use one then. We'll use it on unknown potion. Can we do that? Wait. Use. Oops. Did it work? 3 items identified. Oh, okay, cool. Potion of Vigor. Scroll of the 3 words. Say these 3 words to infuriate any enemy to bar fight level. I voted Trump. Right?
I'm triggered.
Triggered. Cool. Alright. Alright. I'll take that. So yeah, once again, let's interact with this. I wonder what it does.
I wasn't very impressed with his choice for running mate. That was in the news.
Oh, politics, huh? It's time for politics.
Well, you said Trump.
Oh, I was talking about Hearthstone Trump.
It happened. Oh, you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
It was. I would vote for Hearthstone Trump though. He's a sweetheart.
I would too.
He's a nice man.
Oh, I wanted to mention that the game saves very frequently. So if your game crashes or you have to stop, you can just pick up and play where you left off. It's not, you know, you're not forced to just complete this in one sitting, which is nice. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that choice. It's a good choice. Okay, so we have not even been down this hallway yet because that wasn't lit.
Well, let's give it a shot. I'm excited to see what's down in this hallway.
Oh,
what
yeah?
it holds. I bet it holds skeletons.
Probably. It's probably going to lead us back out to... Wait, have we been here? Maybe we just didn't go all the way around the hallway the first time. Probably skeletons, yeah. Let's see. Under construction.
Oh yeah, I guess along that same topic that we were talking about before, how the consoles, the difficulty to develop for N64 versus the PlayStation, we've gotten to a point where the difficulty to develop for PC especially, but for anything really, has dropped to such a low level that actually even me and you can do it. Which
the barrier to entry
is kind of scary. Yeah, the barrier to entry has gotten so low, and the methods of distribution have gotten so good that we're in a really great time for games. Like games like this can come out. Games just look at Steam or the PlayStation 4 store, or I'm sure the Xbox One store is probably cool too. But I haven't really had that much experience with the Xbox One.
Now is a really bad time to do that. Oh, that food was really rotten then, I guess.
Jeez,
that was food, kind of. I'm not sure if I lost health from that. Most of the time I found that, actually that's the first time I threw up from it. I knew that it could happen, I just never seen it.
Oh, maybe you just have too much of it?
Oh, maybe. I mean, I don't know, I think I had, what, 3 or 4 of them? I think, well, all regular food will turn into rotten food eventually. It might have just been the amount of time that I was holding on to it, or maybe it's just random chance.
Let's try out that bar fight potion.
Oh, yeah, let's... Where is it? This one? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so I don't know how long it takes to read a scroll. Okay. Okay.
Maybe not.
Alright. Can't even get out of here. Okay, this is where we want to go, at least. Let's go ahead and read this scroll. Let's get this party started. Berserk. What does it mean?
Oh, you're almost dead.
Yeah, I certainly am.
Everybody's berserked.
Everybody's berserked.
They still seem to be charging you, though.
Oh my god, look at everything. Look at everything that's happening here.
Yeah, this is definitely beyond anything I've seen in a Dark Souls or Bloodborne type game.
Oh, thank god. That was a full health restore.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Did you know that was a full health restore, or was that just
luck? I did not. I just had no idea. Okay, and there's a shooter right there, too, all of a sudden. Oh, 2 of them. Oh, great.
Wow.
Great. So I wonder if you're, this is you being incentivized to run away. I don't know if that's the intention. If it's not, though...
Well, you just hacked and slashed all the way through all of them.
Yeah, but it, cost me a potion and a scroll, and I'm still taking damage here. So, I mean, I guess you could do it. Oh yeah, a couple things I should mention about the combat. I already mentioned that you can pretty much just bait attacks and dodge around them. You have your shield bash, which takes some amount of stamina. You can block. You can do a light attack, which you can charge, which is cool. I think you can charge it pretty much. You can just hold down the button and then release it whenever you want. Same with the heavy attacks. Here, which I hardly ever use just because they're kind of slow. And one of the main differences is that you can see my stamina bar now is lower. Like the maximum stamina that I have is lower because I used heavy attacks or special attacks.
Oh, so, how do you get it back?
That'll refill with food.
Oh. So the heavy attacks it takes up a separate resource.
Right, yeah. So you lose maximum stamina, you know, to a point where maybe you can only do one or two things before you have to let your stamina bar recharge.
You really got to use those judiciously then.
Yeah. So you can see...
your heavy attacks.
All right. I got about, what, half of it? Oh,
so the heavy attacks must be really powerful then, if it takes up permanent stamina. Well, not permanent, but...
oh.
Non-refillable stamina.
Yeah.
Refillable with meat, not with just standing there.
Torn flesh. Also, the collectibles are really tiny.
Ichor. What's Ichor?
Ichor?
Yeah.
Ichor? It's like bug juice or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I saw it in Hearthstone. There's a card called Blood to Ichor. I thought it was like a character or something in Hearthstone.
Oh, no. It's like it's a thing. It's like look it up. Look it up on your phone, or don't. Nah. It's a thing though. Hopefully, we already had that one. So this is the general gameplay of this game. You're gonna be running around a lot, and at some point, if you have no sense of direction like me, you're gonna be lost and end up roaming around for a while. We're still on the first floor, by the way. That's mostly me because I'm pretty incompetent at getting around. But also, we're still on the first floor. Like if you're a player and you just want to move on.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to explain the mechanics of the game and also navigate everything and fight skeletons at the same time.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing about it, aside from when you get in those really, really tight scrapes when you have 10 enemies following you. Nothing about it is particularly mentally challenging. Like you can carry on a conversation while you play this game. It's paced in such a way that you can do that, which is nice. And one other thing, really important thing, the co-op. Right? In the single player, you die, and that's it. You start over. But in co-op, which is... there's no local co-op, but there is online co-op. I think we mentioned that already. If you die, anybody in your party can just resurrect you for free, and you can keep on playing. So the difficulty is completely different when you're playing with a group versus just playing alone. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Oh, meat. So if you find yourself dying a lot... you're heavily encouraged to play with a friend or friends, because the game will be easier, because there's more of you, and also you pretty much have infinite lives, I guess, is the way to say it. Have we been here? I do not know. This doesn't look familiar, though. Is this the way we came? Yes. Or is this the way we came? I don't know. What do you think?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I think this is actually the way we came. Oh. I mean, someone stabbed him, but his heart broke.
Yeah, we saw that one already.
We did. Oh yeah, because we were already here? Yes. Yeah, this is kind of how my experience with the game has been so far. I love the aesthetic of this game. I love it. I love the way everything looks. I'm not an artist. I can't describe these with the right terms, but it looks really cool with this interesting, like, super thick shading, very simple shading style on the main character here.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But everything is gray. All the walls are gray. So I find it sometimes hard to differentiate. And like we already said, when you're running around without a map and you're resorting to chalk the whole time, that can also be a problem. I've usually found the exit by now.
Yeah, I think having the enemy's weapons laying on the ground does pretty much the same job as the chalk. It seems like you can tell where you've been if you see dead enemies, items, and weapons on the ground.
So this is again the starting point. I wonder if we can jump down there. I don't think so. What is that?
It looks magic.
I think it's just gems. I am the Brazen Head. Alright. So we're still looking for the elevator here. And I mean, we don't have to go on much longer with this. I think you sort of get the gist. We've played through this level, and it's taken how long? A decent amount of time for a roguelike like this. You know, if you've played it and you're pretty competent with it, and you know a lot about it, I can't imagine it would take nearly as long as it's taken us. But you know, I'm trying to explain the game and also just try to find the exit and getting surrounded by enemies. So it's a lot of exploration, a lot of experimentation. All the potions, all the scrolls, all the weapons, all the gear, the hats, the shields, everything. Everything is hidden under a layer of obscurity. If that's your thing, you're gonna like it a lot. But if you're like me and you just like having the hard numbers sometimes because that helps you make a better decision, which for me it always does. I can't think of a situation where it wouldn't. Unless the game is specifically balanced around that point, which I don't know if this is. It's too early for me to say yet. Oh god, oh god. Is this a dead end? No. Hey, I think this is the right way. Oh my god. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run.
Yeah, those shooting enemies seem to be killing the skeletons for you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's kind of nice.
Thank you, shooting dudes. We're gonna open this, and then we're gonna get right on out of here. Oh my god. Okay, meat. Good. This meat was in this chest.
That's a good place to keep it.
The best. That's where I keep all
Probably
mine.
not refrigerated, but it looks kind of cold here.
Probably, yeah. It's probably...
The tone of the walls seems to be a
oh god,
cool color.
So this is the exit. We finally made it. I paid 200 gems, and now we can advance to the next level. Are these guys going to follow me in? Yep. Okay. So I'd like to kill these guys because otherwise I can't use that vendor.
Yeah, you'd probably like to get the opportunity to.
Can you imagine if you died right here?
A little bit here.
Yeah, I would really like it if I did not die right here. So here's hoping. Oh yeah, is one really cool thing when you change between floors. You get an interesting view. So I think we're about to go there. This is okay, library of sorts.
Alchemy.
Alchemy.
Alchemy? Yeah, I don't know.
So you might be wondering if you can increase your max health, and the answer is you can do it right here at the end of each level. 500 gems, and you get more health. And I'm assuming more of everything else, power, defense, that sort of thing. But it does cost you.
It's a level up, then, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But it's not just given to you. It's not handed to you. But I think, you know, by the time you get here, and especially if you've been killing respawning enemies, you're going to be able to afford it, you know?
That's probably to prevent you from just rushing through every level. I was thinking because it seems like you're able to just run away from the enemies and not fight them, but you're probably going to be ill prepared if you don't fight enemies, because then you're not going to be able to level up. And I'm sure there's enemies that you have to fight to progress.
So this was a really a nice surprise.
Yeah, this looks really cool. And
you can look at the entire level below you, everything below you, and also the level that you just came from. So you can actually see what it looks like, this, you know, to a small degree.
Yeah, for a short time, I guess.
Yeah. So we have 3 more quests, and we have a new chest here. I think this chest is open with tokens. Last time I used one of these, I got one of those very short daggers, sort of Cassis. All right. How does this one work? I mean, I guess if you're just basing weapons solely on their attack speed and their moveset, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Scroll of the Vampire. I'm sure that gives you some life link or something.
Yeah, yeah. What is this?
Life leech.
So if you love discovering things and exploring things, I think this is going to be your kind of game. And also that sort of obscurity extends even to these objectives down here. Execute changelings. Question mark? All right. I don't know what that means, but you'll stumble on it, I suppose. Oh, it's fire.
Yeah, this level seems to be tinted like a purple color, and the last one was tinted green. I guess that's to differentiate a little bit between the areas.
But it still does share a lot of the same assets.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the same.
Okay.
Looks like a lot of it.
Yeah.
At least.
More gems, more gems. Okay. So I don't know. Do you have any interest in trying it out? Or should I just...
We should do the co-op.
Oh, that's right. We've been running kind of long on this episode anyway. Sorry about that. Okay, well, let's go ahead and we'll call it here for now, and then we'll get the the online co-op up and working. We'll see how that goes.
So we decided we're going to do this as a two-part episode. We're going to do a second episode for the co-op mode, so we can see what that's like and give it a fair amount of time, because we've been going at this for a while already. And we just want to see what it's about. I don't know what to say.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if this kind of game piques your interest, or if you like what you see, go ahead and check out the link below to the Steam page for Necropolis, and try it yourself. Let us know what you think. In the meantime, thanks for watching.